325 Alexander Volkanovski Diego Lopes 2 has just took place. In this video, I'm going to break down the main event and give my thoughts and opinions on how it went. Clearly, judging by the research I've done and other people's opinions I've seen online, I clearly have a massively different opinion on how this fight went than everyone else. The only other guy I've seen that has a similar opinion is MMA Guru. Him himself is he's getting shit on a lot for it. I did pick Diego Lopes to go out there and beat Volkanovski by a KO in the second round. I put my hands up. I did it again. Volkanovski, you proved me wrong twice. However, this fight was a lot closer than it seemed. I thought it was 48-47 Volk. He won rounds 1, 4 and 5. Lopes took 2 and 3. It wasn't a barn burner like last week with Pimlet versus Gaethje. I have to admit that it started off very slow. It come to life in the fifth, but that's what you've got to expect from a guy like Volk who's getting on. He's I understand it, but you can call it out and say it's boring. You can say it's boring without it being a hot take or getting trashed online. Volk wants a boring technical fight. It's clear to see. He wants to keep it at range. He has his hands out like that. He wants to throw the leg kicks, just pop the jab, and it works against a guy like Lopes who has very low fight IQ. Doesn't know how to cut off the cage. Yeah, very disappointed with Diego Lopes. I thought round one started, it was like I just said there. Volk staying at range, dropping the low kick. A couple of good low kicks back from Lopes, but Lopes was playing Volk's game, and you're not going to beat Volk at his game. So I thought Volk took the first. Little takedown shot as well, defended. That's a key thing in this fight. Lopes dominated on the ground. I know that picture in the bottom left there doesn't look too good, but stuffed all of Volk's takedowns, bar one, I think, in the fifth or the fourth, and had two tight submissions. He pulled for a Kimura, a leg lock at the end, and then obviously Volk himself pulled a guillotine, which didn't work. But Lopes was clearly the better grappler in there, which we don't usually see with Volk. Volk usually has the grappling advantage over these guys he fights by Brian Ortega. But I thought maybe Lopes could have seen that he was having success in the grappling and maybe implemented more grappling. I heard he apparently trained with a NCAA double, whatever it's called, that American Wrestling College stuff. One of the best coaches in the world. So, and the guy didn't. Why didn't he shoot off early? Another thing that pisses me off. Diego Lopes is far too respectful to Alexander Volkanovski. All the glove taps. Where's the guy against John Silver we saw that was angry, wanted to fucking kill John Silver? Far too respectful for Volk. It was almost like a humiliation ritual. It's like Lopes knew he was going to lose. They're far too friendly. Once you get in the cage, you're in the cage. You're fighting for each other's dreams. Volk is trying to beat you. Vice versa. Volk, Lopes is trying to beat you. You both want the belt. But only one of you can win. So, far too friendly. But disappointing to see Lopes not get it done for the second time. And he's got a long way back to the belt. Especially if Volk goes out there and defends it against Movsar Evloev or Lauren Murphy. One thing that is saving Lopes is his win over John Silver. So, John Silver it's like O'Malley Yan. If John Silver ever wins the belt, he'll want to fight Lopes to get that win back like Yan wants O'Malley. Anyway, back to the fight. I thought round two was razor tight. I thought Lopes nicked it at the end there with he was just the more dominant fighter in the round. He was pushing Volk back, landed some good low kicks, a couple of jabs. Had a bit of a wild exchange which Volk won, but Lopes dictated the pace of the round, did the bigger damage in that round, and narrowly took it. So I suppose I can have the 49-46 argument. There is no way on earth that fight was 50-45. Lopes won, and I'll get onto it now. Round three, pretty clearly. It was pretty even until about the fourth minute. Lopes shot a takedown on Volk. Volk tried to pull guillotine on it, and Lopez shucked it off, dominated him on the ground after that. They then got back up to the feet. And this has gone so under the radar. Lopez dropped Volk. Clean little check hook of an exchange. Everyone's ignored that because, Australians are a bit retarded when it comes to Volkanovski. I genuinely think all Australians are gay for Volk, even though you never fucking liked him until he fought Holloway for the third time. But Lopez definitely won round 3, so anyone saying 50-45 is deluded and pop Volk stick out your mouth, yeah? Round 4 was similar to the first. Volk was doing more on the feet. I'm disappointed in Lopez. There's a 90% chance that Alexander Volkanovski cannot KO you. So why was you so hesitant? Lopez was just sitting at range, letting Volk get ahead, popping the jabs and the leg kicks. Disappointing to see. Lopez had to make this fight dirty, make it wild to win, catch Volk like he did at the end of round 3. Disappointing. So I gave Volk the 4th, going into the 5th. Got a bit wild towards the end with some grappling exchanges. As you can see in the bottom left there, ended up with Volk basically sitting on Lopez's face, which was an interesting visual to see. But Lopez, I still think Volk won the round based on the damage on the feet, but Lopez was in there, he was pulling leg locks, guillotines, nearly got the back, slipped off. Vice versa, Volk nearly got the back and stalled it out. So to be honest, I can respect Volk, but the way he fights now, due to his age and lack of chin, is kind of boring. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care about Volk. I wouldn't be upset if he went out there and fought Murphy or Evloev and got KO'd or subbed. I do think even if he does get past Murphy, the winner of Murphy Evloev, I think Jean Silva is the type of guy to KO Volk. Those shots John Silva threw at Allen and Lopez, I don't think Volk can eat those. And John Silva's shown he's got good grappling, so Volk's in for a hell of a fight. Maybe he'd look to retire after fighting the winner of Evloev Murphy, but I don't see that happening if he wins. But nevertheless, that's my thoughts and opinions. I thought it was clear 48-47, and the fight was massively overhyped and pretty boring. I'm disappointed in Diego Lopez. He was far too hesitant and respectful to Volk. Nevertheless, Volk got it done, showed his crafty experience, and he's still the champ. Lopez has got to rebuild himself. I'd look to give him that Yair Rodriguez matchup. There's bad blood there. That should be a good scrap. Put that as a fight night main event or a featured fight of a pay-per-view and get it at a press conference. But UFC don't like hyping their fights, so they'll probably just put it on random fight. They'll probably just make Lopez versus Yusuf Zalal and Yair versus Silva, something boring like that, because they don't want hype. They don't want bad blood matchups anymore for some reason. It's quite sad to see. But nevertheless, Volk's the champ. He beat Lopez 48-47. 50-45 is disgusting. It was never 50-45. It was 49-46 at worst. Yeah, these featherweights have got to figure out how to cut off the cage against Volk if they want to get any success, because he'll just pop the jab and leg kicks for 5 rounds. He's got no problem with doing that. Pretty boring to see, but nevertheless, that is Alexander Volkanovski for you these days. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. Post regularly on TikTok, Twitter. Yeah, thank you for watching.